give me shelter from the racism, from the war, from all the craziness to go on the police, from everything that's going on in the world today. Please, Lord, give us shelter.
Who's fighting and what for? Why are we fighting?
It's just a shot away! It's just a shot away! Way murder!
You know, it's a very innocent, naive idea. The world went from black and white to technicolor.
Guys and chicks, they're thinking about their kids, what kind of world their kids are going to have to live in. They'll get out there and fight for it.
Look at the end of the 60s, we'd gotten so far out in terms of our appearance, in terms of our rhetoric, in terms of our place in society, that there really was no place else to go but guerrilla war.
The subject that you write about, it depends on what's going on around you.
When it comes to defining the greatest song of all time, one track that consistently emerges as a top contender is the Rolling Stones' Gimme Shelter. Gimme Shelter has a theatrical backstory and rock and roll mythology to rival even Sympathy for the Devil in the Stones' rich catalog.
Gimme Shelter is a complete masterpiece. Because I hate 60s nostalgia, the whole notion of how horrible things were back then.
The feel, the mood of the piece is so kind of eerie and sort of apocalyptic.
Newsweek called it ecstatic, ironic, all-powerful, an erotic exorcism for a doomed decade.
You really feel like, you know, the 60s are coming to their sort of bloody finale somehow in this track.
It's sort of annoying to me, but insofar as there was a sense of a crackdown and there were bad things going on, that song captures it as well as anything I can think of.
Yeah, I'm gonna fade away. Released in 1969 on the album Let It Bleed, this track is more than just a song. It's an experience. Its haunting vibe, raw energy, and intense emotion have made it a classic that still sends chills down the spine of anyone who listens.
Gimme Shelter is one of the finest things ever created.
It's just a shot away. It's just a shot away. Whoa. But what is it about Gimme Shelter that makes it not only stand out, but often hailed as one of the greatest songs ever recorded? Let's dive into what makes this iconic track so special. The late 1960s were a crazy, chaotic time. Between the Vietnam War, civil rights movements, and political unrest, the world was on edge, including the assassinations of Martin Luther King Jr. and Robert Kennedy. It was during this period that the Rolling Stones wrote Gimme Shelter.
The civil rights movement was going on, still going on. Black people were fighting for rights. Dr. King, I think Dr. King had just been assassinated. Black people as a whole at that particular time we were just distraught, because our leader was dead, and I took all of that stuff must have been built up inside of me.
Gimme Shelter perfectly captures that feeling of uncertainty and fear. Mick Jagger has even said the song came from a sense of dread that was in the air during those years. The lyrics touching on war, violence, and the desire for safety spoke directly to the anxieties of the time.
That transition from the 60s into the 70s was the Stones moment. Sort of the death of the dream was the Stones moment. Not "We Love You," not "All We Need Is Love," not all of that kind of stuff. But when everybody started to get the whiff of the fact, you know what? The revolution's never going to happen. We're not going to get back to the garden. It's Gimme Shelter. That's what's going to happen.
As Mick Jagger once commented, the song was written as a kind of end-of-the-world tune. It was the Stones' way of expressing their anxieties and fears about the chaotic world around them.
It was a very moody piece about the world closing in on you a bit. When it was recorded, like early 69 or something, it was a time of war and tension. And so that's reflected in this tune.
Gimme Shelter is a masterclass in musical composition. It's a song that mirrors the tension of an era, and you can feel that heaviness with every beat.
Terry and Keith playing the opening, 2 versions of Keith overdubbed. Layered 2 layers of Keith. And Jimmy Miller playing the scraper. And Charlie playing the drums. That's me. Oh, that's Mick Jagger singing the high falsetto vocal. Keith wrote the tune and I wrote a lot of the words.
Its blending of rock, blues, and gospel influences creates a dynamic and rich sound that is both energizing and emotionally resonant.
By any reckoning, I think Gimme Shelter has to be, deemed one of the 5 greatest Stones tracks.
The song's arrangement, from the rolling drum fills to the soaring vocals, demonstrates the Rolling Stones' unparalleled musicianship. Keith Richards' legendary guitar riff. From the moment Gimme Shelter starts, you know you're in for something special.
If you listen to the Rolling Stones records, Keith wrote some unbelievable intros.
Keith Richards' opening guitar riff is nothing short of legendary. It's dark, eerie, and instantly grabs your attention.
The intro, the build of the intro, it's one of my favorite guitar solos. It's such a concise guitar solo.
I think everyone creates a character for themselves to a certain extent. I don't know whether Keith created a character of himself which is real or not real. Keith's got a reputation as a hellraiser, so I think he was very worried at one point if he was no longer going to be a hellraiser, he's not that character anymore. Who are you then? I don't think he cares about that anymore. I don't blame him.
Keith's immortal guitar intro, the legendary opening riff, which sets the haunting tone for the song, was crafted by Keith Richards.
There we go. Story so far. I really do like a striking intro to records, especially a rock and roll record, and I'm talking about that particular format, that if an intro can grab you, you're going to be in for at least a few more minutes, and if the riff behind that intro grabs you, then you pretty much got them.
That is a brilliant guitar sound. It says so much with so little. Holy smoke!
That riff has become one of the most recognizable in rock history.
Keith has always known what he wants on the guitar. The way he plays is he establishes sound first with Pierre, his guitar tech, and various ways of achieving the desired effect.
There's something about the intonation of the notes, the separation of the point. I was almost mystical, that when hit in the right way in the right moment, a cheap ride to heaven. Silence is your canvas for a musician, and it's how much you fill in the canvas and how much light you let through, which is something you really don't know. It's almost intuitive. You do it by feel, really, an instinct.
It's simple, but the way it builds tension and sets the mood is masterful.
Keith is all about feel and instinct. If he's writing a song, he may have 2 chords, and he's perfectly happy to sit there and play those 2 chords for 2 hours, and he's just waiting for the next part of the song to come, but he's not going to force it. He's going to just keep playing this mantra until something appears, and it always does.
I just love riffs. I just love a great connection of notes that can repeat themselves over and over without being monotonous, without being boring. And that's what a good riff is. It's the same old thing, but it keeps changing.
It's the kind of riff that feels like a warning of something big coming, pulling you into the song from the very first note. One of the things that truly makes Gimme Shelter unforgettable is the incredible vocal performance from Mary Clayton. You can hear the raw emotion in her voice, especially when she belts out the line, "Rape, murder, it's just a shot away."
Rape, murder, it's just a shot away. It's just a shot away.
I also think it was a stroke of genius that Jimmy Miller brought in Mary Clayton to wail away, because it just takes it into a different dimension.
The story behind it is equally wild. Jagger and Richards were searching for a powerful female voice to add to the chorus.
When we got to Los Angeles and we were mixing it, we thought, well, it's great to have a woman come and do the rape, murder verse, or chorus, or whatever you want to call it. And so we randomly phoned up this poor lady in the middle of the night.
And they invited Clayton, a seasoned backup singer, to join them in the studio late at night, pregnant and in pajamas.
Half sleep, pregnant, and rollers in my hair and all. Baby, I'm in the bed. Baby, maybe you need to go and do this. I said, I'm not going anywhere. He said, oh yeah, you're going. You need to. you need to go and do this. These boys are from England, and you need to go and do this.
Right.
I got up stomping. Like you know how they kick dirt on first base? I stomped to the drawer and pulled me out a Chanel scarf, honey, and put it around my head. Oh, because I had those in those days. Put the Chanel scarf around my head and stomped to the den where the fur coat was sitting. Put the fur coat on, put some blush and blushed up my lips a little bit, you know, and we opened the door and the car was sitting down there waiting.
And she arrived in her curlers. Mary came in her pink curlers. I think that Mary, I'm sorry to tell anyone this. It wasn't a dressing gown. I think she got dressed by then.
We go to the studio, and I see these little wild guys coming from the back of the studio. You know what they've been doing. Coming from the back of the studio, here they come. Walking wild and crazy. Hello. I said, well, hello. You married? I said, yes, I'm married. I said, well, what do you want me to sing? So they took me in the booth and they showed me what they wanted me to sing. I said, okay, cool.
And she came in and knocked this off, this rather odd lyric. It's not sort of the lyric you give everyone, you know, rape, murder is just a shot away.
So we're out singing. Old children is just war children is just a shot away. And then you're all up in your face and, you know, with the lips and the whole thing going on. They asked me to put that part on. I put that on. I said, I'm going to fix them. I'm going to wear this out real good so I can get back to my warm spot. Continue to sing. And then they came out to me and said, this part right here, darling, you must sing about the rape and the murder. I said, child, I'm here by myself. I'm not trying to sing anything about rape and murder. It's just a shot away. Rape, murder. That was the lyric to the song. Right. I said, you got to explain this to me. So they explained the rape. And I said, oh, okay, I get the gist of the song. But while singing that, I don't know what it was. Something just came over me. Like all the things that was going on in the world at that time. Yes. The racism and the killing of this person, the shooting of that person, and all the civil rights stuff that was going on. I was like screaming to the top of my lungs, just a shot away, just a shot away, oh, children.
Rape, murder, yeah. It's just a shot away. It's just a shot away. Rape, murder.
Her chilling vocals, particularly her raw, emotional cries of rape, murder, gave the song an added layer of intensity.
She proceeded to do that in like 1 or 2 takes, which is pretty amazing. And she really got into it, as you can hear on the record. And she, you know, she joins the chorus, and it's been a great live song ever since.
I mean, it was just all in me. Oh, so I saw them hooting and hollering. They hooting and hollering back up in the booth. You know about the booth. And I said, okay, I'm going to do it one more time. They said, oh, do it one more. So I did it one more time. I said, okay, is that enough? Let me give you one for safety. And I did it again. They still hooting and hollering and carrying on. So I was waving good night, and it was done. I said thank you and good night, and that was it. Thus, Gimme Shelter.
It's just a shadow away. It's just a shadow away.
It's one of those moments that makes you stop in your tracks. Her voice cracks.
By that time, some kind of way, it was so late, my throat cracked. It was a crack in that particular song. They said, no, don't do it again. We love the crack. We love the crack. Leave it in, leave it in. Can you do it again? I said, sure, I can do it again.
It's just a shadow away. It's just a shadow away.
And it's packed with so much intensity that you feel it deep in your bones. Her performance was so powerful that you can hear someone, believed to be Charlie Watts, exclaiming, rape, murder, it's just a shot away. And she delivered one of the most powerful performances in rock history.
Yeah, she does a great job on this.
The song's vocal performances are nothing short of extraordinary.
There's all me and la la la, me and me and me singing.
Mick Jagger and Mary Clayton's duet creates a haunting and powerful narrative that reflects the turmoil of the late 1960s.
It's just a shot away. It's just a shot away.
There's a sort of desperation to this track, a real sense of foreboding and an unease, which is extraordinary. It's so haunting.
Clayton's spine-tingling, impassioned vocals in particular are a testament to the emotional intensity that this song conveys.
Oh, children, it's just a shot away. It's just a shot away. Whoa, children.
I would bring Mary Clayton to it, just bring myself to it. It wasn't anything made up where you sang this part and I'll sing that part and he'll sing that. It wasn't any of that. I just brought my heart and soul to it.
There was stuff brewing that the song wasn't about because people didn't really know it was brewing. Nixon was president by then. What was really going on in the long-term historical context was that conservative ideology was reasserting itself and was going to take over capital. And we all need shelter from that.
Gimme Shelter addresses themes of violence, chaos, and the desperate need for sanctuary.
So when I took on a song like that, to sing, give me shelter, please give me shelter from the racism, from the war, from all the craziness that go in the police, from everything that's going on in the world today. Can you please give us all, we really need shelter. And I was really like pleading to God, please, Lord, give us shelter.
Everything about the production of Gimme Shelter adds to its dark, almost apocalyptic vibe. The song feels gritty and real, like it was recorded in the middle of a storm. Keith Richards was inspired to write it during a stormy night in London. Keith had been experimenting with an open tuning on his guitar, and this dark, ominous setting seemed to call forth the melody from him. Richards said the entire song came together in his basement.
It's still wheeled out when big storms happen. It's been used a lot to evoke natural disaster.
Jimmy Miller, the producer, layered in just the right amount of reverb and echo to make the track feel massive but still intimate. The steady, haunting beat, Richard's sharp guitar, and that eerie harmonica in the outro.
Oh, that's my harmonica part, yeah. It's only 2 notes, but it shows what you can do with 2 notes. It is just two notes. That's because in a crummy key for the harmonica.
All work together to create this intense, atmospheric soundscape that pulls you into its world.
There are certainly some very strong tracks on it. I mean, you know, with Gimme Shelter, the obvious example, I mean, with that sort of wraith-like flutters of harmonica, and I think it stands up well as a song, you know, the fact that it's borne out by the fact that later on somebody actually recorded an album consisting entirely of different versions of Gimme Shelter.
A message that still resonates today. Even though Gimme Shelter was written during a very specific time, its message still feels incredibly relevant today. The themes of violence, fear, and the need for shelter, both literally and figuratively, are timeless.
The reason the song, maybe the reason the song seems so profound now is that even if it wasn't as true as it might have been in 1969, it's continued to have relevance.
Every time the world feels a little out of control, Gimme Shelter serves as a reminder of how fragile things can be. The line, "It's just a shot away," perfectly captures that sense of being on the edge, and it's something that continues to resonate with listeners across generations.
Right now, live in a world in which needing shelter is an all too vivid part of our lives, not to mention the lives of the people we're destroying.
You've probably heard Gimme Shelter in a movie or TV show. It's one of those songs that directors love to use because it's so powerful. It's been in everything from Martin Scorsese films to documentaries about war and protests. It's become a symbol for moments of tension, danger, and social change. More than just a song, it's woven into the fabric of pop culture. And let's be honest, when you hear the opening riff in a film, you know something intense is about to go down. Did you know? The song was the last hurrah for Keith's 1960s Maiden. It was just at the end of recording, just as we're tailing off on Gimme Shelter. And I feel this sort of rubbery feeling. Everything's going rubbery, and the neck just fell off. I said, well, thank God it's a fade out, because obviously this song is over. By morning, he had the basic structure and some lyrics sketched out. Mick Jagger later came in to refine and add to the lyrics, creating the version of Gimme Shelter we know today. The Rolling Stones have performed Gimme Shelter live countless times throughout their career. Gimme Shelter isn't just a favorite of fans. It's one of the Rolling Stones' most performed songs at their concerts. Even decades after it was first released, the fact that it still gets played today, and with as much energy as ever, speaks to just how timeless it is. Every time the Stones perform it, it's like a lightning bolt of energy that shoots through the audience, reminding everyone of its enduring power. It is a song that comes alive in a concert setting, further solidifying its status as a legendary track.
I really remember a particular period as a really little guy, from Beggar's Banquet, Let It Bleed, Sticky Fingers, Exile on Main Street. That was the period when the Stones was the background music of my life.
Why Gimme Shelter is still the greatest.
It just kind of adds another thread between this tapestry of this marvelous backlog of material that the Stones have. It's like, whoa, you know, what a legacy. And Lucky Dip, take a song, you know, pick it out.
At the heart of it, Gimme Shelter is more than just a rock song. It's a piece of history.
Yeah, and
It captures the fear and uncertainty of a generation.
The Stones have a great craft of songwriting, and that is how to present it, how to record it so that it knocks your socks off and you go, whoa.
But it also transcends that time period, speaking to universal human emotions. Keith Richards' unforgettable riff.
He just loves music. Music is always part of his life. Music is always on. Music is always the backdrop of his life. And the guitar is always there. The piano is always there. He always has it right handy whenever he wants it. But he loves the process. And so he loves the process more than anything. He loves developing a song.
Its iconic opening riff, haunting vocals, timeless lyrics, Mary Clayton's soul-shaking vocals.
All they basically wanted was me on the record. You know, they knew what I think they kind of knew what I would bring to it.
And the song's haunting atmosphere combine to create something that feels alive every time you hear it. It's a song that pulls you in, shakes you up, and leaves you thinking long after the last note fades away. Gimme Shelter is a masterpiece that encapsulates the spirit of rock and roll.
What they've done is epic. The way they were able to weave these disparate elements together. It's a magic trick.
That's why, even after all these years, Gimme Shelter stands tall as one of the greatest songs ever recorded.